This is lesson 101 in Saxon's Algebra 1/2, the second edition. And this lesson is on advanced ratio problems. We're going to do a couple of examples and some practice, and then let you get to it. Now, you're used to doing ratio problems when you see a problem such as the ratio of carrots to apples was 2 to 3. So what was if the number of carrots equaled 30, then what was the number of apples? Then you would say like this, and then X would be here. The 30 goes across from the 2 because this was carrots, this was apples, and 30 was carrots. So we're looking for how many apples. All right, this is what you're used to doing. But now you're going to have a different, a little bit different. Let's look at how that's going to be different. Example 1 says the ratio of nuts to bolts was 11 to 2. Okay, 11 to 2, and that is nuts to bolts. If there were 260 nuts and bolts in the pile, how many were bolts? All right, here's where it gets different. Because there are nuts and bolts, it's not looking for one or giving us how many were nuts or how many were bolts. It's telling us how many total are in the pile. Therefore, we need a total of the ratio. So we add 11 plus 2 is 13. That's our total. And it's going to correspond to the 260 that are in the pile. 13 is the total ratio number, and 260 is the total actual number in the pile. All right, so it's asking us how many were bolts. So we need to put the 2. So 2 out of 13, the total, is how many out of a total of 260. So X is what we're looking for here. And then you solve it. Once you get it set up, guys, it's just like the other ratio problems. You solve it the exact same way. 260 times 2 is 520. And then you divide by 13. And then you'll see that X is equal to 40. So if there were 260 and the ratio is 2 to 13, then there were 40 bolts in the pile. Bolts in the pile. All right, let's go to the next one. Farmer Dunkowski wanted to plant his farm in wheat and corn in the ratio of 7 to 9. 7 to 9. Okay? Wheat and corn. If he had 640 acres, how many should be planted in wheat? 640 acres is the total number of acres. So then I need to get a total of my two ratio numbers. 9 plus 7 is 16. So I'm going to put 16 on the bottom and then equals, and then 640 here. And we're wanting to know how much wheat. So we'll use the 7 because it represents wheat. And we're looking for X. So we say 16X equals 7 times 640. Let's do that real quickly. I did the other one in my head, and I don't have a calculator out here with me. So pretty tonight. I'm just sitting outside doing this. 7 times 4 is 28. And 7 times 6, 42, 44. So 16X is 4,480. Now I'm going to need to divide both sides by 16. 4,480 divided by 16. Let's see, 16 will go twice. That's 32. And that would be 1, 2, bring down the 8. Let's see, 32 is 64. So 4 times 16 is 64, so 8. That would be 8, and it would be exactly 128. So 280. So X is going to equal 280. 280 acres should be planted in wheat. Sorry, I don't like how that looks. Alright, let's go to the next one. In example 3, when the race began, the ratio of fats to leans was 2 to 17. 2 to 17. Fats to leans. If 3,800 racers were in the race, how many were lean? So I need to get a total here. 17 plus 2 is 19. Okay? So 19 is going to be on the bottom, and 3,800 is going to be on the bottom because they both represent the total number of racers. Now what am I going to look for? How many are lean? So I'm going to use 17 out of 19 equals X out of 3,800. Now I cross multiply. 19X equals 38 times 17, 56, 21, and 5 is 26, 38, 6, 4, 6, and then I'm going to add 2 zeros because this was really 3,800. So 64,600. And now I'm going to divide both sides by 19. 64600 divided by 19. 19 should go into 64 3 times. And 3 times 19 is 57. And 64 minus 57 is 7. Bring down the 6. 19 will go into 76 4 times. Exactly. So this is going to be 0, 0. So X is going to equal 3,400. See, this can be done without a calculator. Okay, let's do your practice. The ratio of big ships to small ships in the harbor was 2 to 9. 2 big to 9 small. If there were 242 ships in the harbor, so I'm going to put that right here, X over 244, how many were big ships and how many were small ships? Alright, I need the total because 242 is the total. 9 plus 2 is 11. And I can use either one of these because I've got to find out both, so I'm just going to use the 2. That'll be easy. So 11X equals 242 times 2 is 484. Divide both sides by 11. X is equal to, let's see, 11 goes into 48. 4 times 40, okay, that's going to be 44. Alright, if I know, so 44 is going to represent the big ships. If there are 242 in all, and 44 of those are big ships, then 198 are small ships. That's how you do it, and good luck. I'll see you next time for lesson 102.